Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. It's another great edition of Recruiting Intel. Here on June 10th, we are just past the first official visit weekend for the Longhorns. Got another one upcoming, but we've had a lot of news and notes to go over. Of course, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you catch up with every single piece of news and notes that we offer here. We're offering them also on InsideTexas.com. So come check us out, but please like this video. Today, we'll be going over all the latest news and notes from Texas official visit weekend. Justin, I think you and Charlie talked about Dylan Berryman. We got to talk about Corey Wells yesterday. Oh, and I think Justin just unplugged his computer. Or East Texas just lost power.
Yeah.
So one or the other. But, you and I, Charlie, we've talked a lot about the different guys who have committed. We have one more to talk about. Texas just picked up a commitment from punter Mikey Bukowskis, Prosper punter, head-to-head win over Clemson. And now Texas has their specialist room solidified in the 2026 class.
Look, Texas is really dedicated to winning all three phases of the game. Look, how many people you signed a deep snapper kick, and then you got a punter, right? I know Mikey mentioned, he told me that he was extremely honored to get the offer from Texas. It meant a lot. Coach Jeff Banks came down to see him, offered him in person. He was extremely excited. His whole family was super pumped up about getting an offer from Texas. Then he got a chance to commit. Mikey can flip the field, man. He can do a lot of great things, great accuracy, really strong leg. And so just kind of getting a chance to know him. Prosper has a real special teams. It's due to Mikey. And so, like I said, Texas took care of special teams. Now we can go big game hunting for all the other positions, man. But it's a huge pickup.
Yeah, he's not ranked by On3 at the current moment, but Cole's kicking, which is the standard across the board for ranking kickers, has him as the number 2 punter in the 2026 class. And this is someone who I think you can see from his commitment announcement, very, very big in his faith. He talked about continuing his ministry at Texas. And I can understand why Clemson would be very appealing. Dabo's big on that. Yeah. But credit to Jeff Banks for, selling his opportunity to not just kick the ball down the field, but do more at the University of Texas for an in-state kid.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's cool. You never want to lose who you are, right? If you can go to a school that fits your culture, fit what you're about, and get a chance to play football at the same time, I think that's a great opportunity. And so he saw the window to kind of jump in, and I'm glad he gets to keep his faith and everything that he already is doing as far as his ministry. I think that's really, really cool part of who you are outside of the helmet, right? And it matters totally.
On the field, Coles mentions he's got some punts with 60 yards of air travel, 5.8 seconds of hang time.
Yeah.
And, if you're punting at 50 yards, 5 seconds to run downfield, that's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So this is someone who I know that Texas fans have seen just go to the portal, and they've done pretty well with that with Texas State kicker with Shipley, Jack Buemeister from Utah. You even go back to Ryan Sanborn. Getting grad transfer kickers and punters just seems like I just do it every year. Cost a little bit. You got to make sure and at the same time, it's just like any other position. If you keep going back to the portal over and over and over and over, the high school kids aren't going to be interested. But if you go after the high school class, you're going to be able to continue that pipeline. And if all three of these guys hit, Trot O'Neill, Mikey Bukowskis, and Jake Collette, and you're good on that for 3 years. And that's really important in the era of 85 capped scholarships. So 4 commits this past weekend: Dylan Berryman, Corey Wells, Cohen Brown, Mikey Bukowski. Oh, wait, no. Would that be 5? Yeah, that's 5 now. So 5 commitments there for the Longhorns. Nice little weekend for Jeff Banks, for everybody in the Longhorn program. Justin, we will keep on going. And the next guy we got to talk about is 5-star athlete Lamar Brown. This is one that reportedly taking a repeat visit back to Texas right before seeing LSU, the hometown team. And, hey, I know we've been mentioning it over and over and over. Alan Clark, he is the person who's making an impact. And Texas just was able to put their best foot forward with Lamar Brown here over the past couple of days.
Yeah, so Leon and Clark had a previous relationship there, and it wasn't as big as like with Jamari and Carlton and those guys. But Lamar Brown is one of those guys. You know what? You know when I knew he was being looked at as a defensive lineman when he wore the number 5 jersey in his photo shoots. Like, to me, that was a dead giveaway. It's like, all right, this kid is not playing offensive tackle. They're not letting him wear single digits, at least not yet. But you know what? This was the shoot their shot weekend. And with Lamar Brown, and there's a chance that he's going to pop back in on campus in the next few weeks, midweek, maybe before his A&M OV, or maybe after his A&M OV. Either way, they got his attention. And that's the biggest key there. Like, they're going to take their time. They're going to chip away at Lamar Brown. I believe he's got an announcement in what, Charlie, like early July?
10th.
Yeah.
July 10th.
Mid-July.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is going to continue to recruit him even past that commitment date because LSU and A&M still probably have the lead here. But look, once you get kids on campus, and you start to at least formulate that relationship, it doesn't have to be the longest standing bond, but as long as you formulate it, kind of give them a show, let them know exactly what the vision is. The kids pick up the culture. The parents pick up the family vibe. They all see this and feel this. Texas is squarely in this thing. They're still, I believe, a little bit behind LSU and A&M, and they're going to get their OVs in the next few weeks, and those are going to be significant. But this has a vibe. It reminds me of every recruitment Sark's been dealing with in the last 3 or 4 years. Continue to push, continue to build, or not so much push, but continue to build, continue to stay close, to evaluate, go be thorough, and then when it's time, come through with an NIL offer, come through with a push, a late charge, a late surge, and see if they're in the mix.
Make sure one thing was ready on the screen. Let's see. Lamar Brown probably fits in a little bit kind of like the jack position. I don't want to say he is Lance Jackson because I think he's unique, but that's the type of jack that maybe you're looking a little bit more for. You flip it over to the other side, you look at the buck position, and that's what Jamari and Carlton looks like. And Charlie, lots of great feedback for Texas and what they were able to hear from Jamari and Carlton and do over the course of this weekend.
Definitely. And then we get to mention that guy's name, Coach Alan Clark, once again, because he has a strong relationship with Carlton that dates back to him being, at Ohio State. Continue to build on that this weekend, right? It set a path. They showed him exactly what he wanted to see, how he'd be used. But they also got to talk about the academic side, which him and his family is huge on, right? Because they're big on life after football. So Jamarian got the full picture, the full profile of Texas. My position you want me at, this is how you want to play me. But life after football also. So to see in that big picture, I think really set Texas in a good spot with Jamarian this weekend.
You'll both put in RPMs, correct? Seeing him eventually ending up at Texas. Justin, this is one where I think we talked to Carlton around this time last year when he's going through the different processes of, getting through his recruitment and taking camp visits and stuff like that. And we thought, hey, this is a kid who's probably going to end up at Texas. And Justin is just speechless about that. But Charlie, you remember from last year, this is a kid who looked like he was going to be very, very interested in Texas. Yeah. We saw every recruitment kind of has its ebbs and flows, and this one did. But it's starting to look a little bit more and more like, okay, the end result that we kind of predicted may be on its way.
Yeah, sometimes, get the recruiter right back on track to where it was once before, right? Kids get other interests, other schools come in, and, you want to explore, you want to see, other schools in other states and really just, explore all your options, right? But at the end of the day, when it's time to start narrowing it down, get close to a decision, you kind of start to weather those other schools out and say, okay, this is where I want to be. This is where I fit at. I think Texas got right back in the picture because of that. And Coach Lylan Clark is really a major part in that, getting their things back on track as far as relationship with Texas. And I think it's paid huge dividends. And, his whole family is happy. And they had a great time this weekend in Texas. So that speaks volumes.
Before we keep on going, got to show some love to our sponsor. That is Roback. There's only one way to describe Roback. Best fit, best feel. For those who aren't familiar with Roback, they are completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Roback has released so many items within their new licensed game day collection, and it's our favorite. With novel polo designs and clean hoodie and Q-zip designs from some of your favorite schools like Texas, it's definitely worth checking out. Nobody else on the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. Roback's everyday shorts or their Delta Performance pants are the perfect pairing as well. Both are super comfortable, have an elastic waistband, and great fabric that's made to have the appearance of a nice short look, but the comfort for a day on the move. Roback has also been proudly leading the NIL charge, having signed partnerships with multiple college football stars like Quinn Ewers. They are becoming the go-to brand for college athletes across the country. Use the code TEXAS20 on roback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com and 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with TEXAS20. We will keep on going, and just some storms up in Smith County. So gotta have to deal with that. Hopefully y'all stay safe up in East Texas, Justin, as well. Good question here from James Cole Fowler. Is Alan Clark a better recruiter than Choice was? I don't think we're there yet, right?
He's building. Like, he has his own relationships built out, his own pipeline, especially in like Southeast and like in Louisiana for sure, right? I know he's gaining traction in Texas, but yeah, that's not a reach, but he's on his way. I'll tell you that. I like him a lot, man. I think he's doing great things out on the recruiting trail.
I mean, let's think of Tashard Choice's resume. Of course, there's the developmental aspect. You and I could coach Bijan Robinson, but he's going to get credit for it, rightfully so. Right. Roschon Johnson helped out there. He brought in C.J. Baxter, Trey Wisner, Jarrett Gibson, Christian Clark, James Simon, Ricky Stewart. So he's got his chops are good. And, of course, that also includes all the assists that he offered within the Southeast, whether it be Georgia, I guess kind of the east part of Alabama, all that area. Getting Texas foot in the door with Amari Latimer, Xavier Crowell, big time there. Alan Clark is doing similar stuff, not just with top edges, but within the state of Louisiana. He can get there, but I think he's got some ways to go. Choice's developmental and recruiting chops were a little bit clearer than Clark's right now. We will keep on going, and we are going to stay on the defensive side of the ball. We got to talk about Davon Benjamin. He is the number one cornerback, according to On3, from Oaks Christian School. Eric Naline had a lot of notes on this recruitment, but Texas is squarely in it. It's kind of looking like it's a battle between the Longhorns and Oregon. And, when you have the California aspect with Texas, lots of connections there. But there's also, I think that's Kayvon Thibodeau's school, Oaks Christian, some Oregon connections as well. Doesn't seem like the Trojans are going to be involved, but this would be a big one, especially considering you have Jermaine Bishop, who's got some position flexibility, Jalen Lott, to get a true corner he's listed 5'11 and a half, I'd say 5'10. To get a true corner like that would be big in this class.
Yeah, man, I got a chance to look at his film, and the very first play just kind of jumps off the screen, man. He's an athlete right off the bat. Like, he has ball skills, and he's one of those guys. If he picks the ball off, he's going to the house, right? He has that type of ability. But it'll be good to get a true, corner in the class with that flexibility of, Bishop, and still recruiting Jalen Lott, like you said. So, Coach Mark Orfe and Coach Aquino, man, they're doing a great job building out this secondary. And I feel like it's helping out the entire team, right? Because you have recruited those guys that can play both ways, and Lott and Bishop. So, I mean, I like Benjamin's game. I like his tape a lot. Battling out Oregon, they're going to put their best foot forward, try to keep them on the West Coast. But, you never know. Texas has a footprint, a flag planted in California, and it's a direct flight, right? So, to Austin. But this would be a great get if, he chooses Texas.
It would really help not just Mark Orfe get another high-quality guy in the class. But, yeah, I think if you can start to tell Jalen Lott and Jermaine Bishop everything they want to hear and yet still fill your needs at a position, especially when you're looking – you have Hayward Howard. You're looking in a good position for Chase Calicut, but Georgia and Michigan loom. Looking good for – you have Yaheem Riley committed, and I don't think there's any concerns about his commitment right now. Getting someone like Davon Benjamin, that's how you start the march to that top 5 class. And I think Texas is number 11 right now. But to get guys like that, someone who ends up probably in the 5-star ranks later on down the road, this is the type of player that'll help that. And I was looking for his highlights. I didn't really find his most recent stuff, but there's a video on YouTube where he was mic'd up, and man, this is a competitor. He's funny. He can chirp with the best of them. And he's definitely somebody I think that would build on a football team and make people know, hey, not only are you playing against a good player, but you're going to have a difficult time going against them. We'll keep on. Xavier Crowell made his visit to Texas from Jackson, Alabama. And this was a good job by Chad Scott to be able to get another top target on campus. But we've always said this one was going to be an uphill battle with Alabama and Auburn. And it's kind of still feeling like it's going to be an uphill battle with Alabama and Auburn.
You know what, though? Texas can only shoot their shot, and getting them on campus for an official visit was huge. You just never know how that thing may swing when it comes to recruiting, right? You never know if a kid wants to be far away from home, right? I mean, it's still Alabama at the end of the day, even though Nick Saban isn't there. But, being able a chance to shoot your shot and get them on campus, I think it was huge. And you're able to sell them and show them exactly how you plan to use them, the whole nine. Lay it all out. Lay out the red carpet, right? You had a bunch of, guys there that committed, so you never know what the hype is going to be like, and that post buzz feeling of a visit, like, man, maybe this is the place for me. If you got a kid thinking that, then hey, the door is open. That's all you ever need until signing day, because that gives you a chance to keep swinging.
At this point, Texas feels good about KJ Edwards. He just got off of his visit to LSU. I think he has a visit to Texas A&M looming, and then he'll make his official visit to Texas. And you're looking for 2 in every class. I don't think you can have enough. We saw what happened last year with Texas, and that they had to test all their depth. Got Jarrett Gibson as many snaps as he could comfortably handle during that first year on campus. So it's always good to take 2. Always good to fill up that room. And that would be Crowell. He's also special. Like you see him, he is tightly wound, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's compact and he's fast, and that would pair pretty darn nicely in a class together with anybody, but especially with KJ Edwards. Last but certainly not least, before we start to look forward to next week, Malachi Lee from the Honolulu, someone who I think we've talked a lot about the in-state players at offensive line, have kind of downplayed a lot of the out-of-state guys because we feel like Texas can find the 5 that they need from within Texas high school football. They've got Max Wright committed. They have Nick Roberts committed. They're looking for Zayden Crimpin, Felix Ojo, John Turntine. If you get that 5, man, you're cooking with gas. But this could be a situation where, hey, maybe you go 6. And if this is this would not be the 6th lineman in a 6-man class. He would be one of the better ones.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I love Lee's tape. Like you said, if we take 6, I don't know, man. That's probably one of the best hauls overall I think I've seen anybody land if you can grab all 6 of these guys. I mean, these all a future like playmakers who some of them may be 3 and out. And we've seen the pipeline in Texas. That may happen. It may be a continuation, but if you can somehow land 6, because you have some versatility with a lot of guys in this class on the offensive line. They can play multiple spots, right? And some you can put Mr. Lee at tackle, you put Ojo at tackle, turn tackle, play tackle, swing guard. Like, you can move guys around. I mean, that'd be a great haul for Coach Flood, man. It seems like he's serious about Lee. Like you said, you can stick in state and land one of the better classes. But it doesn't hurt to go out and grab an extra guy for insurance. We've seen things happen, long seasons. I know Gooseby had to fill in for, Kelvin Banks last year at some point as a young guy. So they're having great quality depth always pays off. And there's nothing wrong with, having some extra insurance, especially in the trenches.
We've talked a lot about how that class of 22, the one that featured Banks and Campbell and Hudson Umeozulu, that set up the success of the Arch Manning recruitment. He saw the guys that would probably be blocking for him. It does help within your own class at the same time. But this, if you're whatever Texas is able to bring in the 2026 class would help not only Diabell know like, hey, okay, these are the guys I'm going to be playing with, but it would also help 2027 quarterback recruiting as those guys probably see the people in the class ahead who are going to be blocking for him down the line.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever that 2027 quarterback is, it's always important to see who the guys are protecting you, right? Because everybody can play somebody a red shirt and they end up being in your class. And so that'll be the guys protecting you, but it's important because without them, you can't have success you want to have as a quarterback. So I think it's important to see who's going to be protecting you. I mean, it goes hand in hand, right? You got to have an O-line, then you got to have a running game, then you get your guys out wide, outside. So, yeah, knowing who's protecting your blind side and people keeping the big 300-pound lineman off you is very, very important.
We'll keep going. It's time to start looking a little bit forward to next weekend, and this is going to feature some of the biggest targets in the class. Of course, Felix Ojo is going to be coming in. We've talked a lot about him. He's seen Michigan. He's seen Ohio State, eliminated Oklahoma from his list of contenders. But there are a lot of Texas leans that I think you can start to really be a little bit confident in. You have predictions in for Zayden Crimpin. You have predictions in for John Turntine, Samari Matthews, even Jalen Lott. But there's also some big name guys: Xavier Griffin, Jake Kroll, Jabari Mack, a potential visitor, Braden Rouse. Like this, Justin, and you guys talked about how this past weekend was the shoot your shot weekend. This weekend may be the close the deal weekend.
Yeah, man, look, there's going to be a ton of visitors on campus. It's going to be a lot busier than last weekend, but that's okay. This Texas staff is prepared for it. That's why you go out and hire all those extra support staff guys working recruiting. But this is going to be a big weekend. I mean, for every single position. You start at cornerback, you got Samari Matthews. Then you got your offensive lineman and Ojo and Crimpin. I mean, Xavier Griffin, linebacker, Rouse, who's, oh my gosh, absolutely stud at linebacker. So you got so many different positions I think you can work on. I think it was key landing some of the guys you did, especially up front. Because now, maybe Kenny Baker, you can kind of maybe help out with linebacker. Like you can help out as a staff if you're not focused on your guys, your position being on campus. So I think that kind of you can allocate some time as far as coaches. But it's going to be a terrific weekend. I mean, I can't wait to see how this one turns out. But I think the Texas staff is prepared for it. I think it's going to be a great turnout.
I'm excited to cover it. We'll be tracking it as they arrive, as they go through visits, as they head to the airport. Always a good time. So make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll have instant reaction on any breaking news that pops up. And, of course, head to InsideTexas.com. We got the link down in the description, whether on YouTube, whether on podcasts. Go check us out. Sign up. Get all the latest intel. Inside Texas is a place to be for any big official visit weekend. So, Coach, thank you. Justin, hope you get your power back. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com.